Rachel Lewis today. Great. What a ball game. I mean, that's what an 8-9 matchup looks like and feels like. What a tremendous ball game. I thought they got the momentum early and we did just enough to kind of limit the damage. And then look for more opportunities, which one can go fast back in the game. But I think Danielle Williams had a really gutsy performance. But what a ball game. I mean, Arizona State is tough. They're tough, and it's going to be a battle tomorrow.
Yeah, Williams went all 11 innings, obviously pitching in a complete game. Was there any conversation you guys had about leaving her in, taking her out, and how she's doing?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it was a conversation that was happening constantly in the dugout, especially when we didn't have a lead, right? So when you're thinking about a series like this, you don't want to leave her in there too long and you don't have to lead. And really, we didn't have a lot of offensive momentum either. But then once Rachel hit the home run, I was like, okay, we've got a shot here. You know, we one swing away. And then into the 7th and the 8th, we're just like, and then once we got past the 8th, honestly, I'm like, this is her ball game. You know, and we're like, she's doing a great job controlling it. I thought she got better as the game went on. But she really got out there.
It was a tough for you, obviously, looking at the pitch count, but like you said, seeing her rhythm to keep her in a kind of swing, even though she might be saying she's feeling really good, but to keep her in the game.
Yeah, and it's like, what's the pitch count limit at that point, right? What's the difference? I don't even know what her pitch count was, 20 more pitches on the night. So once you get to a certain point, she's going to be pretty gassed. So we thought we were in a position where the ball was super separate.
You saw the bullpen, you saw exactly what what they're throwing the next tomorrow. If they do get the win in the next 2 games, what are you going to be looking for up there in terms of adjustments?
I think we're going to go back to film, look at what adjustments were not made and how we can adjust quicker. And yeah, you're right. We've seen the whole staff, so I think that's really good for us going into it. And definitely we're going to go back and learn what adjustments we want to make.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Okay, we'll go with Ben.
Hey, coach. After a kind of a start like that, what's kind of your plan just to deal with Danielle tomorrow rest wise? Is the plan to go ahead with her starting as planned, or is it kind of a play it by ear once you see how she's feeling tomorrow morning type deal?
Well, what I just said to our team out on the field is we have to work just as hard on our recovery as we just looked at that ball game, especially with us dealing with the heat that we haven't experienced, and this is way past my bedtime. So we have to really work at it, and we'll make that call as the day progresses tomorrow.
Noah, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, sure. Without Coach Gascoigne there today, does that change anything for you guys in game in terms of how decisions are made regarding Danielle and regarding the pitching in general?
Yeah, for sure. Michelle normally calls our game. I thought our dugout did a great job. We've been working to prepare for that, and I thought Morgan Newport and Ashley Schultz and Jordan Rudd and Christine Christopoulos were all really, really working hard in the dugout. I thought they did a heck of a job.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Hannah, can you just kind of talk about your emotions at the end of like a really long season there, where you've kind of grown throughout it, having that massive moment to tie things up in the 7th?
I mean, like going into that bat, obviously I'm just thinking just get on base however I can, because at that point we're run down. So really just getting a run across any way possible is kind of just what we're thinking throughout. So I mean, yeah, it was very emotional hitting that, but just getting it done and then putting our team in a position to swing that ball was really all that matters.
Thanks.
Benjamin, do you want to unmute?
Sure. Hi, Kate. Nice to see you past midnight here in New Hampshire. But yeah, I know you're focused very squarely on this team and what you're trying to accomplish here. But did a game like tonight remind you of some of the games you've experienced in past postseason runs that you've had, maybe back in those mid-late 2000s teams?
Yeah, we've been asked that question a lot in terms of does our current team remind us of that team? And there are so many similarities. I thought our team, I think one of the biggest things is our team really embraces the weight room. And I think that our grittiness and our toughness, really helped us out tonight, and so, that's one way where I see a lot of similarities, but I also think this team is on their own journey too, so I want to give them the credit to really kind of make their own path.
Noah,
Rachel, Hannah, specifically for you guys going forward, but also for the team as a whole, the ball is obviously flying out of the park tonight. I think we can safely assume it's going to be the case for the rest of the weekend. Does that affect your approach at the plate at all? I mean, not in terms of trying to hit a home run, but just trying to get it in the air more than you otherwise would, or is it just you got to approach it the same way you normally would?
I think it's definitely the same approach. I think at that point in the game, when I did hit the home run, I was trying to put the ball in play. I think that's all we needed was bases. So I was just trying to get something going for us. And so yeah, that's kind of my approach going into it.
any other questions? Thank you, Northwestern.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for